Presence to me is being content, not in a lazy or settled sort of way. It's a kind of peace, the kind of peace that comes from gratitude, of letting go of what could have been and what's expected of you. Whoa. All right, 3, 2. I'm Richard Vincent, also known as Dicko. I get called that by most of my friends and family. I'm 27 years old. I grew up in Sydney's Lower North Shore in Crow's Nest. I was there till I was about 14 years old, and then as a family we moved into the house that my dad designed and built in Mossman. I've just always enjoyed being out in the country and getting out of Sydney and going west of the Blue Mountains sort of thing. Since having a motorbike, I've done a few rallies, a few little camp out trips. Just you and the bike. It's a freedom that you don't normally get, and you don't get it in the hustle and bustle of home. Like everyone, I've just got things going on. I've got life, I've got responsibilities, commitments, family, friends. Read the newspaper, there's always bad stuff happening and, stuff going on all around the world. It's always just totally crazy. But I find when I'm riding motorbikes, when I'm out there and, opening up the throttle, I really am truly being present. I was working on cattle stations in the outback. I had been out checking fence lines on the motorbike. I'd had a stack that day and really busted up my foot. I was feeling a bit sorry for myself and a bit sad. I got back to the station and looked on my phone and I saw the news that one of my friends from school had passed away. He'd taken his own life 3,500 kilometres away. Not really knowing how to deal with it, how to process it. I was only 18 at the time. So I just ended up just getting back outside and getting back on the bike and just rode down to the nearest little billabong. And I just sat there for, an hour or so. It's not too much to do with motorbike riding, I say, but it's just, I've just felt a little bit of solace there. Just that ride down there, I won't ever forget it. Just going down to the billabong, down to the waterhole, and just sitting there and with my thoughts and thinking about Stuart. When I'm out on the bike, it's just me, the machine and the terrain. I'm not thinking about the creek that I just crossed, or the rocky hill coming up a few kilometres away. Because I don't really know what's coming up around that next bend. Much like life, all I can do is focus on where I am now and put myself in the best position for what's ahead.
There's a British comedian that I quite like. His name's Ross Noble, and he rides motorbikes a lot. I've heard in podcasts and interviews with him before, he's mentioned before how nothing quite like riding a bike and keeping you aware and making constant decisions, and you're focused on just that one task. And he says it'll be a session with a therapist at any day of the week. He says it's one of the greatest things for keeping your brain ticking, because you're constantly making tiny little decisions constantly, which can totally impact your life. You know, it's quite a dangerous activity. It's a thrill, but it can humble you very, very quick. And if you make a little split decision that goes wrong, it can alter your life massively. When I hear someone like that talking about motorbikes, it's crazy, because here's this comedian from the other side of the world, hugely successful comedian, and both he and I are agreeing on the exact same things. Yeah, it's quite cool. I think as humans, we spend too much time worrying about the past or the future and not enough time taking in the present. I think it comes from the way we're taught to live. We're told to keep chasing, to keep improving, to never slow down. Even when we achieve something great, we rarely get the chance to stop and feel it. Gratitude has almost become a forgotten practice. We get caught up in the cycle of wanting more, of thinking we'll finally be happy when we reach the next thing. But that constant push means we miss the moments we'll one day look back on and wish we could return to. There's so much pressure to live the perfect life, yet perfection just isn't living. It's the chase that keeps us trapped between yesterday and tomorrow.